Welcome to Math Time with Mrs. Sturzer. Today we're going to learn about multi-digit division using the place value method. All right, so today we're going to learn about the place value method for division. And I am going to start by using this problem to help you understand how it works. So it says Mrs. Beck has $6,342 she wants to give away. I wish I had money to just give away, but Mrs. Beck is super nice and she wants to give away money to some special people. So she has chosen 21 people to share the money equally. How much money does each person get? So we're going to start off by setting up our problem. So we know our total is 6,342, and we're dividing that among 21 people, and we're trying to figure out how much money each person gets. So we have that much money and 21 people. Okay, so we're going to make a box, and we are going to put 4 boxes here, because each one is going to represent a place value. So this is going to be the thousands place, hundreds place, tens place, and ones place. And we're going to split up this number by the place value. So the 6 is going to go in the thousands place, the 3 in the hundreds, the 4 in the tens, and the 2 in the ones. And then on the outside, we're going to put our divisor, our 21, as what we're dividing up. So I'm going to ask myself, if Mrs. Beck has 6 $1,000 bills to spread among 21 people, she can't do that because she doesn't have enough bills to split that up. So what she's going to do is she's going to go to the bank and she's going to split up those 6 $1,000 bills, and she's going to make 63 $100 bills, because 21 cannot go into 6 in the thousands place. So we're going to move it to the hundreds, and now she has 63 $100 bills. And we have to ask ourselves, how many times can she divvy that up? So if she was to split this up, how much times can she divvy it up? Well, let's look. So 21, if I was to estimate, 20 times 3, I know, is 60. So that gets me super close, I know. So I'm going to try 21 times 3. And I do 21 times 3 is 1 times 3 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, and it's 63. So I'm going to say that each person gets $300 bills. And I'm going to subtract that 63, and I have 0 remaining. So now I'm going to bring that 0 over here because I don't need, because then I know that she has 0 $100 bills left, and now she has 4 $10 bills. Well, if she cannot divide up 4 $10 bills in between 21 people. So she's going to put a 0 here, and she's going to go to the bank, and she's going to exchange those 4 $10 bills into 42 $1 bills. So now she has to figure out how many goes to each person. So I know that 21 times 3 was 63, so I'm going to go lower and try 21 times 2, which is 42. So then I'm going to write that each person gets 2 $1 bills. And I'm going to subtract that 42, and I have 0 remaining. So that tells me that each person gets $302 bills. All right, let's do this problem. The 5th graders at Blackridge Elementary collected 2,376 pieces of candy for this school's Halloween parade. They want to divide them equally among the 33 classes. How many pieces of candy does each class get? So, if we set up the problem, We have 2,376 pieces of candy divided among 33 classes. And we're trying to figure out how much candy each class gets. So we're going to set up the problem. So we're going to try this place value method where we make a box and we're going to put each number into its place value. So 2, 3, 7, 6. We have 33 pieces. So I'm going to look it up, and 33 cannot go into 2. So I'm going to bring the 2 over to the 3. 33 cannot go into 23. So then I'm going to take the 23 and I'm going to move it over to the next place value. 33 can go into 237. So I've got to estimate. So I'm always going to start with 33 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry the 1. 5 times 3 is 15 plus the 1 is 16. That's 165. I could probably go in 2 more times if I'm thinking with my brain. So I'm going to try 33 times 7. 3 times 7 is 21. Carry the 2. 7 times 3 is 21 plus 2 is 23. And that gets me very close to 237 without going over. So I am going to minus 231. I'm going to put the 7 up here because that's what I'm multiplying. So 33 times 7. I'm going to subtract the 231 and I get 6 remaining. So then I'm going to bring this 6 over here. And just looking at this, I know that if I double 33, I get 66. So I'm going to put the 2 over here, minus 66, and I have 0 remaining. So now I have 72 pieces of candy go in each bag. All right, so I'm going to go over a couple of rules with this. Okay, so I'm going to backtrack just a little bit. And let's see. All right, so I have my 2, 3, 7 here, my 6 here. All right, so let's just say that I did 33 times 6. And I have, that's 18, carry the 1, 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 178. Let's just say that I think that's going to be enough. So I put the 6 here, and I minus 178. So I can't do 7 minus 8, so I need to borrow. 17 minus 8 is 9. I'm going to borrow here. Can't do 2 minus 7, so I got to go next door again. Make that a 12. 12 minus 7 is 59. Now, when you're doing this, if this number that you subtracted is greater than your divisor, that means that you can go in to it one more time. Because go back to the money situation, that means that I could divvy out 33 $10 bills one more time. So if I was passing them out, if this number that you're subtracting is greater than your divisor, that means that you can multiply again. So that's a very important thing to remember when you're doing this method. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to one last problem. All right, so we have the supply company packed 4,626 erasers into 18 boxes. How many erasers are in each box? So we have our total of 4,626 erasers. We're dividing it into among 18 boxes. and we need to know how many erasers per box. Okay, I'm going to set up my problem here. So make my box, divide it up by place value. All right, I'm looking at this. 18 cannot go into 4, so I'm going to exchange it to the 46. 18 can go into 46. Let's see, so I'm going to do my times tables. 8 times 2, 16, 36. So I know that the difference between 46 and 36 is only 10, so I'm going to use 2. So I'm going to write a 2 minus 36. I have 10 remaining. I'm going to bring that 10 next door. Now I'm going to figure out. So I know 18 times 10 is 180. So I'm going to try 18 times, I'm going to estimate and say 6. So 8 times 6 is 48. Carry the 4 is 10. I was too high. So now I know that it's because it's really close, 108 to 102. So now I am going to try 5. And that's what I should have started with. 8 times 5 is 40. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 4 is 90. So now I am going to subtract 90. I'm going to put my 5 up here. I'm going to borrow from next door, and I have 12 remaining. I'm going to bring this over, and I have 126. Well, I know that 6 was 108, so I'm going to try 7. 8 times 7 is 56. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 5 is 126. So I'm going to put my 7 up here, minus 126. I have 0 remaining. So 257 erasers were in each box. All right, this method is really simple to use because you only have to worry about doing a single digit multiplication to get your answer. But you do need to watch for when you're subtracting. First of all, to make sure you're subtracting correctly, and then also to make sure that this number is always lower than your divisor. The other thing to remember that if this middle number can't, if this can't go into this number, then you're going to put a 0 in that spot and move the whole thing over. So those are just some tips to remember as you're using this method. Happy dividing!